What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about another gold method explained video, just because you guys are spoiled and I know you guys are really interested in making gold on ESO. So we are going to be talking about dragon slaying, why it's good, how to get into it, and so on and so forth. Dragon slaying is one of those things that really wasn't profitable for a while because everyone and their mom was like, man, I want to go to elsewhere and kill dragons. And then the market was flooded with all of the things that essentially dragons drop. But now we're in a more of a interesting situation where, because not as many individuals are going to elsewhere to farm, the actual rates in which they are dropping and going into the market has changed. So let us talk about the things that you need to know. But before we jump into that, a couple quick questions for you, including the question of the day, which for today's video is going to be, is there anything that I don't do in my videos or don't have, like YouTube wise or Discord wise, or anything basically that you guys think I should do differently? So like different intro, different outro, different segments, different editing style, any thoughts, suggestions, feedback. Some of my videos obviously are more heavily edited, you know, some like today are, you know, just more of a, hey, here's me, and then we're going to talk about the old dragon, just because, you know, it's not like we're doing anything too crazy, you know. But that's kind of my opinion on it, but I wanted to hear back from you guys, because obviously you watch YouTube, you're here, and you have opinions on such things. The second thing is we are doing the giveaway. All you have to do is leave a comment. We will be drawing at the end of April, at the first day of May. And I will be doing a second giveaway for those who join the Discord and help me recruit other people to the Discord, because I want to try to build up that ESO community. We are currently already over 100 members, so let's try to continue to push for more people. And you're welcome to come by, say hello, and you know, ask questions and be a part of the old community. But let us jump into the video, and you will see me fighting dragons for my life, because there's really not that many people here. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's not the easiest, it's not impossible, but it's not easy when there's less people. So you'll notice on the map that there's this dragon symbol with 2 swords. That's going to be very key for your success in being able to complete these, because if there's 2 swords there, basically that means that somebody's activated it and they are actively fighting it. That actually goes for Harrow Storms and other things too, by the way, just so you guys are aware. My general tips is to find an actual group running this, because dragons can actually be, as you can see, a bit difficult. But it's basically me and a handful of goons here trying to do this, which is difficult. But the actual dragon slaying itself is relatively mundane. Reduce their health to 0 and hey, you won. Which hopefully I will succeed here in doing. Although no promises, just please don't watch me, because I'm getting my ass handed to me by this dragon. So it is very tricky when you're trying to multitask here, but this gives me a bit of a reprieve. You'll kill the dragons, hopefully with more than 2 of your closest friends and a companion, and your goal is going to then be to utilize those items in a couple of different ways. Why those ways are important for this video is because you have a couple options. Let's talk about the most obvious things that it's going to drop you, because then we get those out of the way. Easiest thing that it's going to give you is going to be your treasures. Sell those treasures, quick sell them, bada bing, bada boom, easy gold. No much thought into any of that. Then you're going to be getting things such as jewelry. The jewelry becomes a little more interesting, because most people just kind of write off the Elsewhere sets. However, Crafty Alfique from Elsewhere is actually a really good set. I actually highly rate it. The only reason I actually don't even use it is because I use Necropotence, because I believe in using the Twilight Matriarch over it. And then you'll see here, oh, thank the Lord. If I didn't work until 7:30 and started recording this at 7:40, I would have just gone and killed another dragon so I didn't embarrass myself. But you'll see we got Dragon Pellet. That's a quick sell item. Dragon Blood. That's one of the items that we need for what I'm going to be talking about. And that is what we have done. I'm going to now run over. It looks like nobody's killing the other two dragons. Nobody's killing those. I'm guessing these other people are going to run over there. So this gives us a minute to talk about the items as we were just talking about. So let us pull up the actual sets from this zone. Why don't we, huh? You and I are here together. Let's have a chit chat about the sets. You know, we're all here. So Call of the Undertaker is not something that you're really going to utilize. I have actually seen people use it in PvP, but again, not something super crazy. Crafty Alfiq. This is the one that I think deserves a lot of love. You can see what it does. It gives you magicka. Now you might be thinking to yourself, if you don't know like how set building is working, you're like, well, that's a lot of magicka. Magicka is good. It's very good for PvP. Because it increases the damage you do and increases the resource pool you have. And this other one here is really nothing to write home about. I have seen people using this, but again, it's going to be too niche for you to sell. Crafty Alfiq is a sellable set, 100%. That's probably going to be the only thing. So your treasures, quick sell. Crafty Alfiq, sell it. Everything else, quick sell it. Bind it to your sticker book, deconstruct it, research it. Put it in your boxes, give it to your companion to wear as a birthday present, re-gift it onwards to your friend during their birthday. Whatever you want to do with it, you go right on ahead there and do that. Now, this is where it gets real interesting, is we are going to be getting items from the dragons, though, themselves. And that's what we are going to search here and discuss. So, you're going to be getting Dragon Bile and Dragon Blood. Now, on their own, they're worth a decent chunk of money. But you guys know that if something's worth money, there's a reason for that. And we're going to talk about that reason. And that reason is potions. These things are hugely popular for potion making. They make minor heroism potions. You slap these bad boys in with a scrib jelly, and bada bing, bada boom, you are on your way to making something good. There's actually, I pulled it up, the web article that somebody had written about it, and there's a bunch of different combinations and things that you can do with them. Basically, heroism, though, as you can see, that's the discovered trait, and invisibility is actually another one, potentially to vitality, are the biggest usage of these things, but there's so many different things that people are using these things for, so that's my suggestion to you. Is you can definitely look at what potions are being sold. Potion selling is very difficult because the way that you search potions in places like Mournhold is very tricky, but it is lucrative. These potions are hugely popular, especially for PvP purposes. So I would suggest that if you're interested, go and see which types of these potions are selling. And again, that can be slightly tricky, but we have a whole video on how you can check to see, what's selling. So my suggestion would be is let's go, we pick a random Mournhold trader, we go down to all the way down to purchases, and then we start flipping through, seeing what potions are selling. Obviously, it could take a minute, and you see a lot of people, and this is again interesting, you see things like mountain flower selling. Well, that's an alchemy ingredient. People are going to be making their own potions with that. So there's also a very good chance that it could be better to sell these as individual ingredients. You can see Columbine is selling us another raw ingredient. Raw ingredient. Now we have an essence potion that's selling. But you can see that sometimes people prefer to make their own stuff, but it's up to you. You can combine it together. You can keep it separate. That's up to you. I just want to provide you with the knowledge of what you need to do kind of going forward. If you were to do this over an hour period, it's very hard to guesstimate how much money you would be making. I would say you're around, you see there's cornflower, 60 to 80K, just depending on, again, how much money you're going to be able to get from, you can see grapes, you can see seaweed, different provisioning ingredients. But you can see that there's going to be a huge gap depending on the market that you're in. And this is something I also want to hit home with you guys too, is that my market is different than your market. Unless you're playing on Xbox and A, my market is going to be very different than yours. The going rate of crowns on Xbox and A is between 100 and 120 to 1. On PC, it's in the thousands. Some people, like myself, and I'll show you this. So like I generally, this is what I do to make money, is I pick a set and I sell it. You can see here, deadly, 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 deadly. And then you can see at some point too, I was selling some motifs and things and other pieces of treasure maps and other stuff. But it's good to know something. Like if you're going to farm dragons, make that your thing. Because then you're going to know if I get a crafty chess piece on my server, I know that there's a huge market for this. And for me, that's always been things like deadly, Stygians, spinners. I alternate, obviously. I can't keep selling the same thing over and over and over again, but this is just an example. If you're going to do something, try to figure out on your market what this specifically is going. So if you see heroism potions listed, and we'll go take a look here. It can again be difficult to see like how many are listed and stuff because the naming schemes, unfortunately, the naming schemes, unfortunately, for potions can be very tricky to kind of get a hold of because, like, if you search up, say I made a potion of magicka that gave you critical damage, critical chance, critical or damage and recovery, right? It could be named like 3-4 different things based on whichever ingredient you put in first. Unfortunately, the way that they name potions is bad. So we are going to just put in hero and then head on down to consumables. And we are going to find nothing interesting. But again, it could also be a stamina potion that's got heroism. It could be an invisibility potion that's got heroism in it. So it's so hard to find what exactly these things are being named as. Here you can see an example of it, and 1,000 each is a lot, although I would probably note that this is not combined with anything, although it lasts 52 seconds with a 45-second cooldown, so it's pretty impressive in that regard. But again, I would say just encourage you guys to look on your own markets, but I do know that these things are kind of going off like hotcakes right now, just because no one's been in elsewhere recently to farm it. There's been no double events there. There's been no sort of other crazy events that have like drawn people back to elsewhere. So, and this one only lasts 47 seconds. You can see there's not that much here on Xbox NA. I would probably theory craft on how I'd want to make the potions if I thought people wanted invisibility and heroism. Like, is it more night blades, PKing people? Did they want more of the other aspects of it? That's something that I would have to kind of look at myself based on like what my assumptions were on my market, and I would look at what's selling here, what's listed here. I would do a little more research, but that's the thought process that I go through when I see things like dragon slaying becoming popular again, the potions in here things becoming popular again. That's my thought process, so you can kind of take that to your own server and then utilize that then to your benefit. Or even to this server too, you're more than welcome to. My suggestion would actually be to combine it with invisibility. I wonder if we can see if we can find an example of this. I also apologize. I feel like this is a lot of information. So this is here. You can see this is a combination of invisibility and expedition. So that's an interesting combo there. But again, I feel like this is a little bit of rambling, but I just want you guys to know all the information and all the things. So in my mind, I think that it can be a popular combo. And it being here could mean two things. It can mean that, it could mean it's a holy, here we go. So this is Fortitude. That's an option that you can use to make the dragon's blood. This is actually really interesting. So it's a Vanish, Restore Health, Major Fortitude, Health Recovery. Wow, that's actually pretty neat. I actually really like this potion a lot. This is something that definitely has a PvP niche for it. If you guys would be interested in a potions only video on like what types of potions to build and things for money, or even just for yourself, let me know, because I think that would be a really interesting thought experiment. Because I think potion making is so cool, and look how it just doesn't get a lot of love. It just doesn't get as much love as other types of consumable making and crafting and armor crafting. No one's like, can you make me potions? They're always like, can you make me 5 pieces of New Moon Acolyte or Heartland Conqueror? It just doesn't get the same, it doesn't get the same, pizzazz and the same love. So if you guys would be interested in something like that, let me know. But that's going to wrap up my thoughts and everything for this video. If you have questions, comments, concerns, again, suggestions, future content, suggestions on edits, change.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.